Yeah, I wanted to.
Pastor Kelly Richardson. I'm here in Henrico. I'm going to do a video. It's going to be all about Richard Katz, the Hebrew on the Pews. Just for you, a special video. If you follow the back and forth between the Christian apologetic community and the apologists of Hebrew Israelism, no doubt you've seen the claim that discernible Hebrew writing appears in Savannah, Georgia, on the pews at a church called First African Baptist Church.
Oh, you told him so?
Yeah, I was in Richmond.
What happened to Farmville?
I went to both today. I went to both.
You a funny dude.
Remember I told you I went to Pastor Kelly's church? We've been all...
To vouch for him, we were in Farmville and Richmond today. That's what we did.
Because in Richmond, Kelly Richardson's there, and he promotes the Hebrew on the Pew thesis. And I had to stand in front of his church and show that's not true. You guys don't like Kelly anyway. He thinks Gentiles can be saved. If you follow the back and forth between Hebrew Israelites and Christians online, you've probably seen the dubious claim that recognizable Hebrew writing appears on the pews at a church in Savannah, Georgia, named First African Baptist Church. Do one more take of that.
Hang on.
You may be wondering where I am. You'd probably guess Savannah, Georgia, at the church under question to look at the pews. You'd be wrong. I'm actually in Henrico, Virginia, at Passion for Reconciliation Ministries under the leadership of Pastor Kelly Richardson.
And still getting the sign while you're talking. And
You may ask, what does this have to do with supposed Hebrew writing on pews in Georgia? Here's why. The loudest and most confident voice for the Hebrew on the Pews thesis is a man who calls himself Dr. Kelly Richardson. Now, it's not publicly known which institution awarded Mr. Richardson his doctoral degree or even his field of study. But what is known is that Mr. Richardson pastors a Hebrew Israelite church called Passion for Reconciliation Ministries right here in Henrico, Virginia. Kelly supporters might object that Kelly did recently propose one string of Hebrew characters, which he, dang it. What's up, Kelly Richardson? Likewise, even if it is Hebrew, which it's not, the presence of Hebrew on a Yet another option is that it's a simple case of pareidolia, which is the human tendency to see patterns where there are none. Dang it.
You should record me and then we'll have a conversation.
stand right, stand. No, you. Okay, come here.
That's really the key to that little logo, because that's all they got. You know?
This is perfect right here.
But what could be like turned to Hebrew Israelism?
Start. Well, hold on. For some reason.
You may be wondering where I am. You probably guessed Savannah, Georgia. You'd be wrong. I'm actually in Henrico, Virginia, at Passion for Reconciliation Ministries, under the leadership of Pastor Kelly Richardson.
All right, go ahead.
We're here live on location in Henrico, Virginia, outside of Richmond, at a Hebrew Israelite church ran by a guy named Pastor Kelly Richardson. I'm not trying to be mean to the guy, but he is a heretic, a false teacher, and makes dubious claims about history, and that's what we're here to debunk. So we're in front of his church. We're not going in, not causing any problem. We're just on site, on location, to debunk some of the claims he makes to try to prove that he's an Israelite and that lead to bad theology, which excludes other people and makes them secondary citizens in the kingdom. So shout out to David for getting me out here. being willing to do stuff like this. Thank
Oh yeah,
you.
and were you or were you not saying for the last 3 days, no, we don't need to go all the way out there, we don't need to do this, we don't need to?
Well, yeah, because, you know, you guys, you know, you do big stuff. John McCrae's holding the camera, by the way, and I didn't want to impose. So let me just tell you guys, listen, David not only is busy doing his own stuff, taking care of his family, but I can't tell you, you don't want me to say this, but how much he helps other creators, specifically me. You know, I'm not some, you know, whatever, but he really helps because he knows it's a niche ministry, but he knows it's important. So stuff like this does matter because sometimes people use this guy's arguments as reasons why they leave Christianity and turn into Hebrew Israelism. So that's why it matters. It's not just a game, although it is kind of funny we're here in front of this church.
Yeah, and there's actually a reason, and this goes way back. My best performing video of all time, the video I made that did the best, was a long time ago, and it was called, it was something about the Ground Zero Mosque. It's called Of Mosques and Men, Reflections on the Ground Zero Mosque. And that was back when, you know, after the two towers had come down, a Muslim developer said that he was taking a building that had been partly ruined by part of the plane destroying part of the building, and then he was able to buy that building cheap, and he announced that he's building like an 18-story mega mosque right there at Ground Zero. And so lots of people back then on YouTube were making videos about the Ground Zero Mosque. I lived in the Bronx, so I was just like, well, I'm gonna do one. Instead of being in front of my bookshelf, let me just go down there and record it. And so went down there. My wife is the one with the camera there. I recorded like a 5-minute video. It got like 3.5 million views. And the idea that I wanted to share with you right now is that there are lots of things you can do to give your video some sort of advantage that makes it even a little bit more interesting. But that little bit of an advantage that you give something might be what gets it into the suggested video section beside other videos, right?
So what you're saying is this is going to hit 3.5 million, baby.
Yeah, so with this, unfortunately, this isn't a viral kind of topic, but what this is however this video would perform without being here, I can guarantee it's going to do better than it would have done, because so that's something to think about when you're making your video. Any little thing you can do in terms of your title, your thumbnail, how you arrange your content, how you hold people's interest throughout the video, any advantage you can give your video, it's going to help. And the little advantages you give may add up to a big advantage because it might take off.
Hey! Filming you. What's up, Kelly Richardson?